Hello students, today we are going to talk about CSS selectors. CSS selectors are used to select the content you want to style. Selectors are the part of CSS rule set. CSS selectors select HTML elements according to its ID, class, type, attribute, etc. There are several different types of selectors in CSS, namely CSS element selector, CSS ID selector, CSS class selector, CSS universal selector, and CSS group selector. We will talk about these one by one. First, we are starting with CSS element selector, where we are selecting an element to style. For example, we will write the element, that is the tag, then we will write the property like color and give a certain value to it. Like we wrote P, that is a paragraph tag, color blue. So this will apply blue color to all the P elements. Let us see a complete example. In this particular example, students, you can see that under the head tag, we have given the style tag. Under the style tag, we wrote the style for P. So all the P's or all the paragraph tags which are coming under this HTML script will have the color blue. So we will write P, then within bracket we wrote color blue. After this, we wrote two paragraphs, both of them will be blue in the output screen. Coming to the next selector, that is CSS ID selector. The ID selector selects the ID attribute of an HTML element to select a specific element. An ID is always unique within the page. So it is chosen to select a single unique element. It is written with the hash character hash followed by the ID of the element. Here we can see an example. In this particular example, under the style tag, we wrote hash para. As soon as we write hash para, it means hash para 1, it means that whichever tag has that ID para 1, all the styles which are included inside this para 1 will be applicable to that particular element. So inside the HTML tag we see, inside this HTML script we see that the paragraph tag, that is P, has this paragraph tag, that is the first one, has an ID para 1. So whatever we wrote under this, that is hellojavapoint.com, will have this style, that is text align will be center and the color of the text will be blue. Whereas the other paragraph tag does not have any IDs and hence will not be affected by the style. We can also see the output here. I'm sorry, you just, I had changed this name to Kristu.com. So you can see the corresponding output. We are coming to the third tag, a third class selector, that is the CSS class selector. The class selector selects HTML elements with a specific class attribute. It is used with a period character, dot, full stop symbol, followed by the class name. So it will be like, what is the difference, students, then between the previous selector, that is the ID selector, and this class selector? Now ID, as I already said, is unique, right? So only one tag or one tag can have the ID para 1. But here, since we are using dot, it means that it is a class selector and multiple tags can have the same class name. So whichever tags have the class name center will get this style, that is text align center and color blue. We can see it down like H1, class equal to center, this particular, the text which we wrote inside the h1 tag gets this style. And the next tag, that is P, which also has the class center, gets the style as well. The difference in font, whatever you are noticing here in the output, is due to the fact that one is the h1 tag, which obviously has a bigger font, as we all know, and the other one is a normal P or paragraph tag. That's why the difference in font is same. The next tag which we are studying is the universal selector tag. This selector targets all the elements on the page. It is represented by the asterisk. So it is like star, then property value. So if we write star, then margin :0, this resets the margin for all the elements which are present in that particular page. For example, in this particular HTML document, we can see that we wrote under the style tag, we wrote star color red. So all the text which are present, okay, in this particular HTML script will have the color red now. So here under h1 tag, we wrote hello world in red. This full text will become red, as well as this paragraph tag. Under this paragraph tag, the full text will become red as well. Now we come to the last selector, that is group selector. Now, this selector allows you to apply the same styles to multiple elements by grouping them with commas. Now, this particular selector, students, is only useful if you are applying the same style for more than one element or more than one tag. So suppose we already know here, see down and check this example. I have already made up my mind that my tags h1, h2, h3 will have the font family Arial, sans serif. So instead of writing the style separately, we can group them together, and together we can mention a single style. So what is the syntax here? The element, like element 1, comma, element 2, comma, element 3. You can add more elements here as well. And you write the property, then colon value, and you can add as many property value groups here as you like. And an example is like h1, h2, h3, and we mention the font family here. And so this font family now will be actively changing the font of h1, h2 as well as h3. We can see a full example here. So under style, we wrote h1, h2, h3, and we wrote font family is Arial, sans serif, and color is navy. So both this property, okay, will be applicable for all these three tags. Whatever values will you give here will be applicable for all the three tags. And thus, there is no need to specify the style of the tag separately now. So it saves your time. I hope these examples are clear to you, students. Hope this video helped you. Thank you, my dear students.